Why did I say no? You gotta ask why. Hell, I know yes. That's what they. I needed to be back in the pen for a while because the pen for me, hell, has been where I get educated, I get rest, and I study in the pen. And I needed to be in the pen because I was slipping in and out of something that my heart ain't in it anymore. I could have did that stuff 5 years before. All eyes big, no trouble. When I was back down there this time, the feeling wasn't the same, and I knew it. Remember I told you I was looking at a picture, and I said, nigga there, okay, other people didn't do that. I did the right thing. This is not the first time. I made the right decision for me at that time. I needed to be back in the pen. I was only going to be there for a couple of years. To me, it ain't no time. I'm just going to be there for a minute because I'm only going to be there for currency, not drugs or nothing, I might even get some of the money back. Although I had plenty of money on me and stuff like that. When I came home as the Imam, studied in Islam, clicking, right? It was the right decision to make. It was the right decision. Because I'm not wandering in the wilderness, I'm moving around, and internally I know, ethics done kicked in. I'm dealing with the Sunnah. I can't do that anymore. So I'm strolling around. I need to be back in the penitentiary. Why? Because I've been in the penitentiary all before, and the penitentiary never did me no harm. Never. It never did everything, I don't want to volunteer and go sit in the penitentiary, right? But I knew this is where I need to be at that time. And by the time I come out, I'm still evolving and growing and developing. What I'm saying is our brothers never did nothing like that. They never did nothing like that. And they wasn't optimistic about the future, so they committed suicide. That's the difference between me and them. That's the difference. If not, where's the Negro in the United States that can, anybody you watch on TV? So you got to realize who you are and where you're at. Okay, where's the Negro? Mention any place. What decision? Did we make the right decision about Iran? Did we make the right decision about Hezbollah? Did we make the right decision about China? Where is our, right? In the strategic alliance, in the projection, how often have we been right? Literally, what? Every doggone time. And it's not Negro stuff, it's the global stuff. How many people know enough about history from our community to say the tilt is in? Now we moving from Stalingrad to Oakland. In other words, Stalingrad changed the whole perspective of World War II. It wasn't D-Day, it was Stalingrad, right? It was Stalingrad, the Russians started, and that changed, and everything that was against the people of Russia, right? And everything that was for the Germans turned against them. The air bombing, it is bombing everything. Great, bomb up more, because now the tanks can't run nowhere, right? The weather. Germans had helmets, and hell, it'd be cold as like, and the Russians had hats, right? And the Germans had grease to make the thing freeze, and the Russians had a mixture of concoction, I don't know, looked like we fixed it up. It made everything run smooth, right? Everything that was for them, that's the way it is now for us. Everything that's for us everything that's going on in the world. Oh, they just picked a fight with China. Great. Why? Because China's in a position that you should have started this a long time ago, because they in pocket now. China got a Belt and Road, and they done built so many railroads in Africa, and they got Chinamans all over Africa. You ought to see the new movies like Wolf 2 or something. Anybody saw that? Boy, it's good. It's a B movie, but it's Chinamans. When it's all over, all the fighting is over, the Chinaman's the hero that just whooped the white man. And the white man says, people like you that are inferior to us. And the Chinaman turned him over and said, no, it's people like you that are, and he whoops it. All finished. No, it's all finished. And the hero Chinaman got a little black boy, he helped him find his mama. And there's big scenes where in Africa, the Chinese army is there now, and they're taking out only Chinamans. And the heroes say, no, we're all here together. So it's a good group of Chinamans, few military people and others. They said, we're all here together. So the Africans and the Chinamans gonna leave together, right? They're cheap B movies, boy, but they, them same old crap they used to show us, the white folks. Them old dumb John Wayne movies and all that mess. Hey man, the Chinamans, and then when it's all over, it says wherever there's oppression and such, you will find China there to help. I said, get on then, Chinamans, get your butt on. I'm telling you, I just saw the thing on the thing the other day. I just saw it on the movie. Yeah, the phone, I was watching it on the phone, I think. Somewhere I saw it. Anyway, look. Now I know the Chinamans is lying a little bit, but they're 80% correct. You know what I mean? They're 80%. And they building railroads. I'm telling you, the railroad from Mombasa to Nairobi used to take 12 hours. They got one now online that take 4 hours. You there. All over the world. The Chinamans have encircled and re-encircled and counter-encircled the white man. He's done for it. And then they got Don. Don is all for it. He just, anything, hey man, at the end of each round, he go to the wrong corner every time. Because he beat all up in the eye, he don't know what to do. Okay, this may sound a little disjointed, but out of all of this stuff, it's where we are now. We're right in the middle of this. It don't make no difference whether other Negro groups understand where we're coming from. I know this is time for a world-class movement, and that's what we have to do. It don't make no difference whether the niggas accept it or not. Remember the other day I was telling you about Abdul Kareem, is that Abdul Kareem, the high yellow guy? Yeah. The yellow fellow from our community. I said, anybody who's an occupant is the police and open. That's what I meant. And if you listen and you see everything that go on there, right, it makes sense, right? They are. Okay. But we ain't got time to sit down and go through who they are. We just say, look, that's who they are. Quiet. Hey, man. Now I'm going to get to people, the question they asked me, and if y'all just bear with me a few minutes. Okay. How are you? How you holding up and all of this? How's your shoe? So I look at the little notes. Grateful, thankful, optimistic. This has been an adventure, life. We was talking about every time we go on some little thing, we'd ask everybody want to go? They said, no. No, heck no. That don't look like no fun to me. You know what? This don't look like no fun. But it ain't nothing as much fun as this. Just imagine. Here's a nigga. Can talk to the FBI. Y'all a bunch of punks. Now who else can do that? Tell the truth. And go down to the FBI office and pass out the flyer at the FBI office. Years ago. And when they come out, oh, thank you. This is the FBI. Everybody else is scatter them people, right? They scatter them people. And the Oakland police, they dragging me out of the Masjid naked last month. You know, right? Who is up to date on all of this stuff? Forget about whether people are paying attention to it or not. Forget about whether either they like it or not, or it doesn't make a difference. See, this is what protracted, this is what long range, this is what all them cars out there that don't run mean. Right? This is what everything out there, none of it works, right? They're the ones that ran out of stuff to do. Can you imagine? They done ran out of stuff to do, right? It don't have nothing. I just plunk it in, and I'll go back to years ago. I'll just walk where I want to go till I get ready to buy something. I can walk. I can catch the subway. I can arrange things. I can walk. This is my third, fourth day back in my regular workout schedule, man. I feel wonderful. Right? Instead of walking over in the park, in the woods, shoot, I could just walk to the subway, walk wherever I want to do. Right? I don't need, in fact, it'd be less like cutting the lawns years ago. Of course, I ain't going to be in a hurry to cut them down because it's too hot. I mean, when you get a little older, you know, you have to admit, though, time and age, you know, I'm 75. And I know the white man is always up to no good, but there is something to aging. You know what I mean? You just may not feel like it. You know, you may not have the energy, and it get real hot. Some people, old people, be dying in hot weather, right? They be passing away and goodbye. So the point is that I know the white man when he give you a little imbalance, because I can tell how everybody act. If I go up on the roof and tilt everybody, because I understand. Really, believe me, I understand. You got to understand, I understand. But here's what I got confidence in. Number one, the trick for me forever was I like niggas. I just like niggas. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Jamil, them niggas. And you know, I always just liked black people. I mean, I like black people. Ain't nothing I can do about it. And the older they are, the better. I like the old, you know, when I was growing up type, you know, that you know, when the black community, segregation. They talk about, I hate integration. I like segregation. Well, we got, look what say, produce, man. The music, nobody can touch it. Nobody can touch it. The history, the style, the way niggas used to dress, man, they got niggas now wearing tennis shoes and all kinds of, man, what are they wearing? I don't, you know, it's not that I don't like it, but you saw the way we used to dress, and I can show you my clothes, you know. And then niggas think I like light women. Look at this here. This is Miss Mary. That's the darkest woman in the world. I mean, I know y'all seen it. I showed it to you before. Yeah, I'm just saying that they think that this nigga like yellow women. You would be shocked that the yellow women and the white women, I'm telling you, the stuff you have to get by on the plane flying on BOS, British Airways. Yeah, British Airways. I mean, this is when Bobby Blue Bland was there. When she walked in, Bobby Blue Bland said, this is what we was doing. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
My mom, well, I'm sorry.
no, here we are. I'm sitting right next to a nice young white lady, and then there's a Malaccan guy. That's Indonesian. That's when they had Malaccan terrorists. That's probably before y'all's time. You know, in Indonesia and all that. This guy is drunk and doing all kind of stuff. So the white woman says to the other white lady sitting right in the middle, would you like for me to move you from these niggas here? No. So that means she had to stay. She was seated where she was supposed to. So I'm flying back to South America. And that white woman was there to take me off the plane, to take me to Peru instead of getting off the plane. And they had it all set up. You can see the way it's all set up. Oh, you don't have to get off at Bogota. You can go on to Peru because we ain't checking nothing. You know, and the white woman is there to take, you know, how many niggas is gonna just avoid 50 white women in a row? In those days, that's in the 70s, you know, they had special, they get extra stuff in the 70s, white women, you know, now they just kind of normal. But you know, how many niggas are gonna, and then she's saying, you know, I have a Paki boyfriend, Pakistani, to show that she's not prejudiced, anything like that. Anyway, all the time, every time, right? How many of our brothers would avoid all of those traps? Can you imagine the amount of traps? Every day, all the time, year in and year out. They can't do it. They wouldn't do it. Every one of our brothers get trapped by some little $2 thing, right? Every last one of them. All of our brothers. It's not just Imam Jamil getting tired of being harassed by the police. You can't get tired because of harassment. That's part of the job. Especially one or two little things like that, right? Do you think the police care whether they got him for that or something else? Do you think they cared about the old dumb police that got killed? Hell no, they don't care nothing about none of that. All of it is expendable. The same thing with Jeff Ford and all the other brothers. When people ask me, how you doing? I said, as fine as I can be. I can't get no better. I can't get no better. Why? Long as you mission orientated and you had a faith to go with it, that's some of the things that our people have been missing. That's why we got a special job here. It is to carry the whole weight of the history. Remember the stuff we read sometime, it says there are certain characteristics that you be there with the people of old and you would see what rose them up and what brought them down, right? And what affected their transition, you know what I mean? What made them prosper and what made you be there? Look, it is as though you're there with them. Now, I don't want to get spooky. But the other day when I was watching this thing about Grant, you know, General Grant, the Battle of Vicksburg, I've mentioned it 1,000 times, but when they was talking about the Negro troops up on the north side, and my great-grandfather, because I remember we talking on there, and I was saying, hey, I just listened to what my father said talking to my great-nephew, right? And I said, do you remember Aunt Dale? He said, yeah, we stayed together for a while. I said, she has. My father told me, and I had forgot about it, but I was listening to the tape again. has the discharges, ain't Dale. She's born 1898, had the discharge papers. I guess that's, my father called him Grandpa, so he had to be my great-grandfather. Discharge papers. And the bayonet, you know, the bayonet, he said, and so that's why I asked him, I said, man, you check and see if our relatives got Aunt Dale's paperwork, you know, because it would be the discharge papers. You know how many niggas nowadays got their great-great-great-grandfather's discharge papers? Hardly none. Okay, but the thing about that is that when they mentioned the battle and how it went, it's as though you're almost there. It's not reincarnation, I'm not trying to be spooky. But when you get into some aspects of history, it's though you're right there with them almost. That's what Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui was saying about from the slave ship right to the anvil or the blacksmith, that this way this guy is talking, he was there. You see what I mean? Okay, now, niggas jumping off ships so they won't come here. Packed in there like sardines, you know what I mean? Hey, anyway, it's a long story. But that old saying, do you remember me? You know what I mean? All them people. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not going to forget them at all. That's why some people don't care nothing about selling their identity or anything. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. Not the brother. The white man, as we used to say, can kiss my black ass. Why? Because we got stuff to do. And he's been a bad boy. Boss man has been a bad boy. Right? That's all I can say about it. Exceptionalism. It seems what we take as normal is exceptional. What we take as normal is exceptional. Out of all the so-called African American groups, right? You would say, we ain't sweating it, right? But it's exceptional when you're alive and you make all the right alliances. You just happen to lock with